Hey everybody, Livingston here, and we're about to jump into the Twilight Zone, Episode 7, The Lonely. I'm digging this show. I'm loving every minute of it because it's a new episode, new story, new cast of characters every single time, other than Rod Serling coming in and doing the narration at the beginning, at the end of each episode. And that's always a nice, welcoming voice that come into your living rooms every night when you have to watch this back in 1959 and there was nothing else to watch. And to have him narrating it, I think it kind of has some kind of ease to it. It's almost like a lullaby, getting you started into the next fantasy or the next sci-fi or the next mystery that's going to unfold on the Twilight Zone. So let's jump into this episode and seeing what we're going to get into.
It is the middle ground between light
and shadow.
It is an area which we call
the Twilight Zone. Down in the next story we go.
Witness, if you will, a dungeon.
Dungeon.
The dungeon has an inmate.
An annoying one. I know this guy. What's his name?
For the record, let it be known that James A. Corey is a convicted criminal. Confinement in this case stretches as far as the eye can see, because this particular dungeon is on an asteroid 9 million miles from the Earth.
Asteroid? Almost looks like the Salt Flats. Yeah, that would suck being alone for all that time, no one around. That is a kind of hell for sure. But he has a car, so I guess he can get around the asteroid.
8th day, 6th month, the year 4. There'll be a supply ship coming in soon, I think. And I hope it's Allenby's ship because he's a decent man. He brings things for me. Because what is there left? Desert and the wind?
Is he stuck here forever? How long does this last? That's pretty cool. It's almost like an overlay they did there of the rocket. I don't remember this guy's name, but he was, I remember he's always the grandpa in my day when I was watching movies back when he was on. I think he passed away in the early 2000s. But he was in Problem Child, played the grandpa. He was also in The Replacements with Keanu Reeves and Gene Hackman. He was the owner of the team.
Allenby!
How are you, Corey?
All right. You?
What a place you've got here, Corey.
Glad you like it.
I didn't say I liked it. I think it stinks. That's 8 months out of 12, Corey, away from Earth. Sometimes my kids don't even recognize me when I come home.
Damn.
Yeah, this makes for simple living, doesn't it?
Everybody's in their own hell.
I'm sorry, Corey. If we delay our time of departure any longer than 15 minutes, it just places us in a different orbital position. We'll never make it back to Earth.
Oh, the science is sound. You do have certain windows because of the orbit of certain planets and whatnot. I know, like for Mars, you gotta leave at a certain time frame in order to match the orbit of Mars passing Earth at the same certain time or whatever. A lot of math involved, and that's why I can't figure that one out. Let the scientists figure it out.
Hey, we've been here 2 minutes already, and he hasn't asked about the pardon.
The pardon?
You're out of luck, Corey. The sentence reads 50 years.
50 years. That sucks.
I told you last time there's been a lot of pressure back home about this kind of punishment. A lot of people who think it's unnecessarily cruel.
Just a bit. What did he do?
Allenby, every morning when I get up, I tell myself this is my last day of sanity.
Hey, you might, you can make it. Just gotta find other hobbies.
But I can't do that for another 46 years, Allenby. I'll go right out of my mind.
You're breaking my heart.
It should. It would suck.
Brought you some paperback books.
Nice. How about a TV? Some movies.
I don't want tidbits. Makes me feel like an animal in a cage with an old lady out there who wants to throw peanuts at me.
I'd take the books, dude.
I'm not a murderer. I killed in self-defense.
Oh.
Stopping here 4 times a year and having to look at a man's agony.
You're right, Allenby.
Yeah, that would suck.
Well, anything so you can just fight loneliness.
Can you bring another person that's willing to hang out?
Look, when you open up that crate, there's nothing you need to do. The item's been vacuum packed. Well, there'll be a booklet inside that'll answer any of your questions.
What is it? Is it a pet?
See you in 3 months.
Thanks, buddy.
Allenby?
Yeah?
But for the thought, thank you.
Thanks, guys. So what's inside? Hello? Show us.
You are now the proud possessor of a robot built in the form of a woman.
Does she look like a woman, or is it something that just kind of resembles?
Physiologically and psychologically,
Looks real.
a human being with a set of emotions and a memory track. The ability to reason, to think, and to speak.
So she's an AI.
Her name is Alicia.
Hey.
My name's Alicia.
I hope you have a personality.
I don't need a machine. Go on, get out of here.
Man, give it a chance.
My name's Alicia. What's your name?
She's broke. Maybe you gotta teach her.
I brought you some water.
Take it.
Why didn't they build you to look like a machine?
What's the fun in that?
If I look at long enough, makes me think. Makes me believe that
Oh.
it's a lie.
He'll give in. Maybe.
You mocked me, you know that?
How so?
You hurt me, Corey.
How can I hurt you?
She said she felt pain.
This isn't real flesh. There aren't any nerves under there. There aren't any muscles or tendons.
Uh-oh.
A hunk of metal with arms and legs instead of wheels.
She seems to be feeling that.
It doesn't look at me with make-believe eyes or talk to me with a make-believe voice. A reminder to me that I'm so lonely I'm about to lose my mind.
Yeah, but why squander this opportunity? Plus, she's crying, dude. Real tears.
I can feel loneliness too.
It's already turning around. She shows a little emotion. But is it real emotion? Or is it just for his benefit?
Alicia's been with me now for 11 months. Is it man and woman or man and machine? I don't really know myself.
I think I'd get a little lost in knowing what she would be over time, you know, if she built some sort of attachment, especially if she acts human. The galaxy.
That's in the constellation of Orion. And there's the Great Bear. There's the constellation Hercules.
Hercules.
That star, Corey. What's that star?
Not a star.
Well, that's not a star, that's a ship.
We'd better get back to the house then.
He no longer cares. He's content, which is nice to be.
Corey! All the sentences have been reviewed. You've been given a pardon.
Huzzah!
Alicia and I are climbing to that ship of yours and we'll...
Oh, can't take her.
Oh, my dear God, I forgot her.
He's out of his mind.
Who's Alicia?
Corey, she's a robot.
Rubit. Says it's so weird. Just come back for him. Just say, I'll wait another 3 months and just come by.
15 pounds.
Oh, wait a minute. You'll have to throw out some equipment. Alicia, she weighs more than 15 pounds.
That's exactly the point now, Corey. Our ship is stripped right now.
No, you don't understand. She's not a robot. She's a woman. Alicia! Alicia!
Corey!
This is problematic. Where is she?
Talk to them, Alicia. Show them.
Huh.
I don't have any choice, Corey.
Corey?
No.
Oh, well, that sucks.
Corey.
That's true. She was just wires and electrodes,
It's like a bad dream. Nightmare.
I guess. But she wasn't really a bad dream to him.
I must remember that. I must remember to keep that in mind.
He started to quickly understand as soon as he saw what was inside, that it wasn't blood and guts.
On a microscopic piece of sand that floats through space is a fragment of a man's life. All of Mr. Corey's machines, including the one made in his image, kept alive by love, but now obsolete.
In the Twilight Zone. Well, that was it. That was episode 7, The Lonely. You gotta say, there's a lot of philosophical thought into that episode. I thought this episode really dove into what is real. Is artificial intelligence, is a robot, can they be real? Do they have a soul? Because I think it was even thought up back in like the 20s and 30s. Maybe even in the 1800s, there might have been some discussion based upon could technology come to the point where it could be made into a reality of there being artificial intelligence. But you can go forever into these topics, and I'm sure this is going to come up a few more times. And I even thought about diving into the Outer Limits at some point into the future too, which is almost like a Twilight Zone, but it kind of dives more into other things, other philosophical questions that the Twilight Zone doesn't really get into. But when it comes to this, I gotta say it's a pretty good episode in terms of making you think, what would you do in that situation? Would you fall in love with a robot as well? Who knows? Let me know, comment below. What do you think would happen in your own situation if you were stuck on an asteroid for 50 years and you were given a robot? I would probably maybe fall into the category of probably developing feelings for a robot, maybe. I'm not sure. I've never been put in that situation. I don't think I ever will be put in that situation, but I can see that, hell, if Tom Hanks can get some sort of companionship with a volleyball in Castaway, I'm sure that you can do it with a robot that walks and talks and breathes and talks, and has a personality. So I don't think it's too far-fetched to think that would be a possibility. But there is some trivia on this, so let's dive into that. Ted Knight makes an uncredited appearance as Captain Allenby's crew member, Adams. I didn't know that. I didn't really recognize him. That's pretty cool. If you don't know who Ted Knight is, he was in Caddyshack. He played kind of like the villain of Caddyshack. He was also in the Mary Tyler Moore Show. The first of many Twilight Zone episodes, including I Shot an Arrow into the Air, 100 Yards Over the Rim, and the Rip Van Winkle Caper, to be filmed on location in Death Valley. Unprepared for the terrible conditions they would face, the crew suffered extreme dehydration and heat exhaustion, and director of photography George T. Clemens even collapsed, falling from a camera crane while filming continued. Well, hey, at least the show kept going. This episode takes place from 2046 to 2047. Wow. Okay. Not too far off from Blade Runner 2049. This is the first Twilight Zone story pairing Jack Warden, that's what his name was, Jack Warden, with a human robot, the second being the mighty Casey. I knew that would come up again. The vertical panels with a series of holes seen hanging as decoration in Corey's quarters, I do remember seeing that, and flat outside the door are PSP pierced steel planking, sometimes called a Marston mat. This material was developed for World War II to make temporary airfield runways and aircraft stands. The metal planks hook together along the sides and can be used to provide a hard surface for any number of purposes in isolated areas. Well, that was all the trivia for this, but like I say, I enjoyed the episode. And at the end of this season, we're probably going to go back and look at all the episodes and maybe rank them, seeing, which one's the best, which one's the worst, and what's all in between. Let me know, comment below, where do you think this ranks among your Twilight Zone episodes? I'd love to know. And until next time, see you later.